and they shouldn't be helped, they should be punished. And that's kind of the world that we've grown up in, is that these are the scapegoats for the drug war that really is just a protection racket for the legal drugs that they want to sell you. And the people that suffer with the addictions and the poverty could be any one of us. There but for the grace of God go each one of us. They come from all walks of life. What they share in common is deep-seated pain. Some of it physical, some of it emotional. The primary cause of the pain is childhood sexual abuse, as it turns out. When we interview and talk to the people that are making their way on the downtown east side, struggling the way that they are, many times it's the loss of a parent or severe abuse in several other ways. Trauma is the word that basically covers what they're dealing with. It's trauma that drives their addiction, their separation, their inability to hold down jobs and to maintain relationships and to look after themselves in meaningful ways. They're not criminals. They're not bad people. They're forced into doing things that none of us would appreciate having that choice because of where they are in their life and what's happened to them. And as I say, there but for the grace of God go any one of us. It could have been any one of us ending up in poverty on the downtown east side, struggling with abuse of drugs to try to get through one more night of not having to deal with that pain. So these are the abused children of our society that we're helping, and we're helping them by giving them cannabis because cannabis works. For many, many people that are on opioids, we have found that cannabis can be an effective substitute, especially the edibles and especially the concentrates. Smoked cannabis in a joint really doesn't have the power for most of them to help them offset the use of the street drugs and the opioids. But the edibles do. A couple of good strong edibles is reported that it'll get them right through a night of going through withdrawals. We now have many people that are in our lineup every Thursday and Sunday that tell us that they've only been using what they've been getting from us twice a week, and they're not using any other street drugs at this time. And they are so grateful. And we are so happy that that's what's happening and that this is working. We're getting zero support from our government. I appealed to City Hall. I asked them for funding and approval, and they wouldn't even talk to me. On several occasions, I personally did that. I then sent a lobbyist for 2 months to City Hall to talk to council and get them on board before we started the project, with no success. During those 2 months, I managed to get donators that would give us edibles that we could distribute. And so after a couple months, I thought I had enough, and I went down to Vandu and I said, can I set up a table and hand these out? And they agreed. And I did. And that's how it started. And in 19 months, we've never had a government official come and talk to us. We've never had a VPD member come and talk to us. We've never had Coastal Health come and talk to us. These are the people that say edibles are not available. They're banned in all the dispensaries in Vancouver. They're not allowing them to protect the children, they say. Yet here we are, giving out thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of cannabis edibles for free to people on the downtown east side. And we have had zero reports of any children being harmed by this. I have had reports of people eating too much. They spend the night hanging onto a pole or spend 3 days in bed, but they report that they're going to continue to use cannabis. They're just not going to eat too much again. But cannabis is safe, and it's a bunch of bullshit, and it's reefer madness that it's harming children and a threat to children. Banning edibles from dispensaries is harmful to children if cannabis edibles were harmful to children, because people are going to make them themselves in their own home. So it would have the opposite effect of keeping them out of the reach of children. If you've got kids and you're making edibles for your medical condition, the kids know you're cooking cookies. They want some. You got to make some for them too. When theirs are all gone, they're going to find yours because that's what kids do. Thankfully, they're not going to hurt themselves. They might be worried, but in the hospital, they'll just put them in a quiet, calm room, put someone there that they like, and they're not only fine by the next day, but in many cases, they're more alert and better than they were the day before. So it's a bunch of bullshit. And I want to say about that, you know, it's not off topic with the Cannabis Substitution Project, but just because I mentioned it to do with children and teenagers and cannabis, I consider it a hate crime that's being positioned on us by our government to say that cannabis harms the developing brain. That is patently not true in the first place. In a world with alcohol and toxic pharmaceuticals that definitely do harm developing brains, cannabis is part of the endocannabinoid system. It's a supplement. It's in mother's milk. It's absolutely essential to the development of the developing brain. So when your government says that kids under 19 or 25 shouldn't use cannabis because it can harm their brain, they're saying that there's millions of Canadians suffering from brain damage from cannabis. That's the message that they're putting out there, and that is patently not true. We, us cannabis users, I used cannabis extensively in my youth, as did all of my friends. We are articulate, we are creative, we are the inventors, we are the smart people in this planet. We are not brain damaged, and we really need to address that. So, in any case, thanks for letting me go off on that tangent. You can check out the Cannabis Substitution Project. We're on Facebook. It's a group. I'm told it's harder to find now because Facebook's making it hard to find stuff. Find it through me, Neil Magnuson, on Facebook, or put it in there. It might come up. But check out what we're doing. See if it might work in your area. Feel free to contact me. I'll consult with anybody that wants to know how we got this going and how to make it happen. We have an opioid epidemic of overdose deaths. There's thousands and thousands of our friends and people that are dying. These are people's children, and we need to get this message out there that cannabis in the form of edibles and concentrates can be an effective supplement, and the people that have gone that route tell me and come to me and tell me that cannabis has saved their life. And I'm sure there's people in this room. Is there anybody in this room that feels that way, that cannabis saved your life? They're everywhere. They're working in dispensaries. They're all over the place. So, yeah, get that message out there. Start up a program if you can. And check out the Cannabis Substitution Project if you can help us in any way. We do need donations. We are sustaining what we're doing, but there's always more that we could be doing. There has been a few times in the last couple of months that we haven't been able to help everybody that was in our lineup. So if you have edibles that are going to go to waste, for sure, try to get them to me. I have a post office box. I accept them in Vancouver. We'll do it like that. Whatever works, we could use your help. So thank you for being here. Thank you for all that you all have done to get us to where we are here. We're an amazing group of people. I want to thank Jeff Lundstrom. Oh my God, buddy. You're in the heart of conservative RCMP territory.
No, we're not.
Well,
they get high too.
Thanks to you.
You know, you guys give it up for Neil Magnuson. I've known this man for a long time, and truly, he hasn't impressed me with anything more than the Van Du Center. What they're doing down there is amazing, helping people who are addicted, mentally ill. I went and partied last October. I went and partied for Halloween, and even though we partied late, we got up early the next day just to come down to the Van Du Center and hand out weed to the homeless people there and addicted. And we met some of the nicest people, and we smoked some fatties with them, and it's one of the greatest. That's activism at its finest, where you're taking a drug that can help people reduce from heroin and crack cocaine and problems that really exist in Vancouver and help them survive. My hat's off, brother. It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen you do in your career.
In August in Squamish, the proceeds raised during the Putt-Putt Golf Challenge went to the Cannabis Substitution Project. And we handed Neil about $1,200 or about $630
because
or
Jeff
so.
matched it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to. Yeah, we handed Jeff about Neil's about $630 from the funds raised from that. And then Jeff actually went ahead right on the spot and matched that and doubled it up. So they raised over $1,230. Thanks to Jeff. Thanks to everybody at the tournament. Just a solid guy, man. Nice move.
And I want to say that donation has been huge for what we've been able to do since then in sustaining this project and continuing it. So thank you, Jeff, for so much for having this event, for having me here. You're an inspiration, and I love you. So.
And thank you, Neil. Thank you, everybody who's come out today for day 3. Neil will be back to sing Oh Cannabis at about 4:20. Y'all know how it goes. Oh Cannabis. He kills it. That said, we're going to start the Iron Lung competition here in, 10 minutes. So if you've entered the Ironman competition, start making your way to the front here. Do your warm-ups, do your calisthenics and shit, start stretching. We're ready to go. We're going to make that happen. Lots of people signed up. So if you're in the place and you've signed up, or if you haven't signed up and you still want to get in on it, that's cool. Speaking of things to get in on, get on the raffle as well, too. $5 for an arm length worth of tickets, $3,000 worth of prizes to win, and still the synchronized dabbing about 3-ish. Also, Carly Marley, you're on right after the Iron Lung as well, too. And Dana Larson about 4. Many things happening here at the 3rd annual Prairie Medicinal Harvest Cup. And Jeffrey.
Side note, if you didn't get a judge bag and you want to buy one today, we're selling them for half price at $1.50 at the front.
Whoa.
So you probably won't have time to vote on it, but you can go home and get stoned on the bejesus out of it. So
till 3:30.
If that's what you want to do.
Until 3:30, you can get your votes in here. We're down to literally the last 90 minutes to submit your entries.
And there's only been 11 completed out of 100 judges, so you guys need to get on it.
Come on.
Get it in.
You can leave the results up to 11 people?
You only got till 3:30, and we need those numbers to give away the cup from Shine Glasswork, or we can't do this party. That's why we're here. Right? To see who grows the best weed in all the prairies.
We came here to smoke weed and write it down. So transfer that shit to the saskprairiecup.ca website. /vote. Instructions are in there. Mike Reedy can be on stage as well, too. Yo, you guys have a good time with him last night? He's a funny dude, right? Man. I've heard a couple of those jokes before, but I still had tears down my face.
I know who you are if you don't vote. I know when you enter your code. So if you don't finish your voting, I'll know every one of you that didn't do it, and I'm coming.
And he'll come to your house.
To do something like get you high. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Hey.
I got nothing. It's an empty threat.
Hey.
Just vote. God damn it.
And awards after 420. In the meantime, Josh, a little music, and I'm going to have some donuts.